Hello everybody. Today I'm going to watch A Complete Unknown, which is based on Bob Dylan's story. Timothy Chalamet is playing the lead role. Looking forward to it. As always, I'm going to go watch the film, watch it, and then review it on the way back in my car. So, yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Best place to be. Here we go, people. About to enter the void. Let's see what this film's like. There is no one here. What the fuck? Well, this is a lovely experience. Mate, look at that. Hello everybody. Just picking up my camera from my mate's house. But I watched the film Another Man, and it was pretty good, you know. It was a decent film, it was a decent watch. It was definitely worth my time. I learned some really good stuff. I was even listening to Bob Dylan just when I was getting the equipment. But yeah, I was listening to him, and it's, you know, it was what I expected it to be. You know, it wasn't too like it was what I expected. It was simple. It was to the point, which I liked. But yeah, it was an interesting film. I don't know whether it's my attention span, but I typically kind of tend to get a little bit bored with biopics. I don't know, it just seems to be kind of a trend. But I'm still entertained by it, but in the sense that I watch some crime film, or I watch something like, you know, more tailored to what I like, I'm just more entertained by it, I guess. But I still enjoyed No Man, and it was still worth the watch. I think Timothy Chalamet was really good in it. You know, he really did his homework. He nailed the voice down, well, from what I've heard from the songs and stuff, and he did a really, really good job. He even looked like Bob Dylan quite a bit. And some of the gestures in his eyes and stuff, you know, he focused on the small details, which was really, really good. I think everyone's acting in it was really, really good. The cinematography was fantastic, really good. The cinematography, the lighting was really, really good. The yellow lights on the faces and it illuminating things, and when they're at the apartment scenes, some really good cinematography there. And yeah, I mean, I guess the only kind of issues I had with it is it just kind of felt repetitive. Like, I feel like it was a bit bloated for 2 hours. I don't know. I don't know. I feel like it could have probably been, as in it was 2 hours 20 minutes. I think it probably could have been down. I reckon you could have probably done it like an hour 45 or so. But again, it's me being picky. I'm not, you know, there's probably some other explanation behind why it was that long. But yeah, I feel like it's just a bit repetitive and like the kind of same things over and over again. But this is a music biopic, and that's what musicians are doing. So, but I did feel like it was a little bit repetitive. The same things kept cropping up again. And I would have liked to kind of seen a bit more of a. I mean, I wasn't a huge fan of Elvis actually when it came out. Obviously the 2019 version. I wasn't a massive fan of. I mean, I enjoyed it, but what I did like about it is how it. There's the thing with music biopics is it tends to be either it's like a 5-year snippet. I think One Love's a good example of that. I can't really think of any other ones off the top of my head. So it tends to be like a 5-hour snippet, or the music biopic tends to be their whole life, as in from when they were born to, or when they were young to, or yeah, when they were young to kind of when they died, or if they're still alive to now. And Freddie, you know, Bohemian Rhapsody is an example of that. I think Back to Black is an example of that. And Elvis is also an example of that as well. So, and this one was obviously just a snippet, and I don't really mind which one, whatever works for the story. Obviously, it typically tends to be if they die, because then they can actually finish the story more simply, which kind of sounds a bit morbid, but that's the facts. But yeah, no, it was, yeah, I enjoyed it. Yeah. I did like how it was kind of simple, you know. I do like Ambition though, because I feel like I still, this is a really controversial opinion, but I still love Bohemian Rhapsody is still my favourite music biopic. I love it. I don't know if that's because I love Queen, probably is, but I don't know anything about Bob Dylan. But I love Bohemian Rhapsody and no one else does, which is a shame. But this was definitely up there for in terms of the professionalism, in terms of like it being quite like in terms of critics and stuff. I don't know how honest it was to Bob Dylan or the stories. I was just judging. I mean, the set pieces as well. I mean, the set was fantastic. Really, really good set. In terms of the say that it was New York, 1960, they really nailed that kind of vibe, that aesthetic. It cost a lot of money as well, and it's very difficult to do. I know that much. So yeah, I feel like they did a pretty good job. What I was going to say, sorry, when the Elvis, I like how there's a good montage of him when he hits fame, and it's like this really fast-paced fame montage, kind of whoa in your face. I was kind of expecting to have Bob Dylan, but maybe maybe that wasn't going to happen because he's not that type of person, or the film is not striving to be that kind of thing, because it wasn't as energetic as Elvis. Elvis is obviously more energetic because it's Elvis Presley, one of the best-known musicians in the world. But yeah, I wonder if they ever do music biopic of Michael Jackson. I think they are doing that now, aren't they? I mean, there always seems to be, like, you always kind of think that at some point they're doing some sort of, something that's been spoken about quite a lot, like a Michael Jackson biopic. Everyone, like in 2018 I heard somebody say, oh, it's in production or some shit. Like, I don't know, but that's probably the next one, because Michael Jackson was the biggest star. Obviously with all the allegations and stuff, I don't know how they get away with it or not. Because you never hear Michael Jackson music in people's films, which I always find bizarre. So why don't I ever hear people's, why don't I ever hear that? I don't know who else I'd like to see. I mean, I think they've done the Beatles. Rolling Stones, that could be a really good one. I'd like to see that. Maybe even more niche band. I think Bob Dylan's was niche to me because I'm not from that time, But yeah, the cinematography is really, really good. I think overall is what I expected it to be, which is good. It wasn't a shock to me, but I wasn't disappointed by it. Like, I was still entertained by it. I was still fulfilled by it. I got quite lost into that world. I even put my phone in my pocket, my coat pocket, and like, just because I don't want my phone in my peripheral vision. I can go to the cinema and just switch my phone off, power it off, and not see it for 3 hours. Like, if I watch a film at home, like, it buzzes off every now and then. If I go for a piss, I'll come and check my phone a little bit and I kind of flash in and out. But when I'm in the cinema, it's like a zone of just get complete and utter focus. Like, it's just a zone of just, it's almost like a temple to me. It's like some sort of, not meditation, but I'm just engrossed into the film. I can just fully focus on that one thing, and that's what I love about going to the cinema. It's just so immersive is the point I'm trying to make. And I didn't even want my phone in my peripheral vision. I love having my phone just off for like 3 hours and just immerse myself in whatever story is presented to me on the big screen. And I feel like I had that with this film today. But I think the main standout is Timothée Chalamet's performance. I think it was brilliant, and I think the cinematography is also really, really good. I don't know much about James Mangold, whatever, the director's name. I don't know how you say his name. But him, I don't know much about his work or kind of what he does, so I'm not too sure how it compares to some of his other motion pictures. This car is right up my ass. Go away! But overall, if you would, I would recommend watching it. I don't think I'm ever going to say don't watch a film. You always learn something different from it. I mean, unless it's obviously really shit, then yeah, or I'm really pissed off about it. Presents. No, I'm not that pissed off about Presents. I am a little bit. But yeah, this is definitely worth my watch. It was good ass film. There's definitely a trend of biopics. I don't think it's anything particularly negative. I think it's better than a trend of Marvel films. I'm not just saying that to be a film or anything, but Marvel films really, at least with biopics, it's more of an actual film. I need to go out with me. Yeah, at least with a biopic, it's more like kind of artistic. It's more a film. It's more of a compelling story rather than just fighting action. I have no problem with Marvel films, but I generally don't watch much of it. I've watched the Spider-Mans, I've watched the original ones, and I've watched I think one with the first and third one with Tom Holland, and I watched the Marvel, the first one. I can't remember what it's called. Avengers and it's not Infinity War, it's the second one, but the Avengers Assemble, I think. Watch that one. That's what I have to say with Unknown Man. I think it was a decent watch. Like I said, I think some parts are a bit long-winded. I think there's a bit of an error with the pacing. But I like the beginning, how he had that momentum. And there was bits in it, you know, that were really good. But I just felt like, you know, he's going to the studio. He'd have a fling with a girl. He'd be going somewhere. And he'd be at that concert a long time. But it's not really a problem. It's just my preference. I would like to have seen him go to different places. And I'm sure in those 5 years when he blew up to go to all different countries, that could have been a cool montage. It could have been he could have been when he was in London, or if he was in fucking, I don't know, Germany or some shit. You know, it'd be good to see how he interacted with his environment and the people and the fans there. So yeah, but again, I did like the fact that it was simple and not necessarily ambitious, in the sense that it was solely focused on folk music and America and being in America. So I'm kind of contradicting myself a bit, but overall decent watch. I don't know when I'm going to upload it next, but have a nice evening, afternoon, whatever.